Hi and welcome to episode 34 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law, I'm the founder of This is Reportage and I'm a wedding photographer too. Delighted to be talking to the fab Kim Hart Fotografie for today's episode. Kim is based in Holland, has won 7 Reportage Awards from us and was just so lovely to talk to. She shares so much great advice and thoughts here. My 8-year-old daughter was listening to me working on the episode and she said, "Wow, she's so inspiring," and I totally agree. Stick with us today as Kim shares all about life in the pandemic and homeschooling her girls, her soft spot for the elderly, why she's particularly drawn to black and white, her first paid wedding, McDonald's, her top tips for better documentary captures, and much more. Before we get on to Kim, just another reminder about our brand new benefit for members, exclusive educational videos. We now have almost 16 hours of video where you can learn from the likes of The Framers, Dominique Shaw of York Place Studios, Paul Rogers, Tyler Workin, Simon Leclerc, Christian Levin and more, with new videos added regularly. Check them out at thisisreportage.com. Right, over to Kim. Hey Kim, how you doing?
Hey, yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, all good, all good. How's things with you? 'Cause you're over in Holland, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm over in Holland, and it's the first day that schools are up and running again.
Oh,
So the
right.
two girls are off to school. It's almost normal.
Oh, wow. Yeah. How old are your girls?
The oldest is turning 8 in a week, and the youngest is just 4.
Oh, cool. Very similar to, I've got an 8-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy, so very similar.
Ah, yeah, so they're also both at school, which is
As it's still different here. So yeah, as are both at home at the moment, actually. But so how does it feel for you having them back at school? How has it been over the past few months?
Well, it was weird because the youngest one just turned 4, and she had like 1 or 2 days to practice, and then Corona hit, so she
Oh,
she could extend it for a couple of months,
mm,
and it was hectic because you have to rearrange everything.
yeah,
The amazing part was that in the time when we were home, we had lovely weather and a nice garden, and the girls got together a lot. So that was just amazing to see. They had a lot
oh,
of fun. Yeah, it was
that's cool, isn't it? There are good sides to this horrible
yeah.
situation, I guess.
And
Yeah,
I
and
know I'm not meant to be a school teacher. That's what I've learned also. Definitely
it
not for me.
it's really difficult, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
tricky.
yeah, it is. It really is.
Have
There's
your
some
teachers
things.
been sending you kind of like
Ah,
things to do and things in that time?
yeah, I like a lot, like
Mhm.
everything. And some things we were debating how to teach them.
Mm,
So, but we managed, and
that,
it also has a good advantage because you get to know how they are doing, and where you can give them some extra help. To be
that's
honest,
true. That
it's
is
not
true.
all bad. Come on, it's not all bad. But honestly, I'm happy to have some peace and quiet in my home. Yeah.
I totally understand that. I totally understand that. And were they looking forward to going back to school today? Were they happy?
Well, the oldest one was happy because it's turning back to normal, and for kids that's good. The
Mm.
youngest one, she says just no. She just wants to be home and play.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Oh, and how has it been for you in terms of weddings, and postponements and things? How's it looking for you now? When's the next wedding that you're supposed to be shooting?
Well, I have to be honest. These last months are, on a personal level, were quite changing. I've just recently divorced in the middle of Corona,
Oh, I'm so
and
sorry.
yeah, it's sorry, but on the other hand, we are very good. Also, stay good friends for the girls. So I'm lucky to have all that time together still with the girls and the family. So at the end, for me personally, not having weddings is perfect
Right.
because I have all the time to focus on this. So
Mm,
it was kind of a little luck from my end, a little blessing in disguise.
right.
Of
Yeah.
course, on the like for income, it's not good.
Mm.
Our government supporting us, which is nice. So that gives us some air. But a lot of weddings are postponed to either the end of this year, from September. I think I have my first one in August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have some. But for my plan is to do it next year, to start it more and be back, because I had let it go a little bit last year.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Awful, awful. But yeah,
It's not
hopefully
awful.
next.
It's life,
It is
I'm
okay.
fine. We're all fine. It's not awful.
That's
It's
good.
life.
Oh, good.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay. No, cool. But in a similar situation for me in terms of weddings. So my next wedding is not until the end of September. They've all postponed until then. What are the laws at the moment in Holland in terms of weddings? Can they go ahead now, or are they not allowed at all?
Well, we have the 1.5 meter rule, so we have to have distance with each other. But our biggest trouble were the locations, if they could open.
Okay.
So that was the biggest concern for the wedding couples. And for now, I think this month we're allowed to be with 30 people in a room in distance.
All right. Okay.
I think from July or August we're changing to 100.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
So it's
it's,
easing.
yeah. So it's picking up. Over here it almost feels like normal. And
Right. Wow.
but I'm a bit concerned about a second wave because nobody is having any distance anymore
Oh, really?
with it. So it's fingers crossed. But otherwise, I have I think a wedding in August and in September and October. So I have quite like 4 or 5 this year still
Okay.
at the
That's quite
end.
nice to have in.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it, until we last shot. It has.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'll remember how to use my camera. I don't know.
Well, I used it for the girls a little bit and some newborn shoots. They're still
Uh,
letting me do that from distance and some family, but it's not the same as a wedding.
no, that's true. Oh, yeah, fingers crossed that will happen in August, and then
It
the
will.
other ones it will. So I'd like to talk about one of your specific images, one of your reportage awards that I particularly love. It appears to be, I think, it looks like a granddad holding his grandchild. I think, it looks like maybe on the dance floor. I don't know, but it's just a beautiful moment. His expression, the way he's holding him, you're black and white. Can you tell us a bit about that shot?
Well, yeah, I have a soft spot for the elderly. I always have. There's just they calm me down as a person. I have a very good connection. I had a very good connection with both my grandparents.
Okay.
So whenever I see grandparents, yeah, I just go. I'm like a magnet. I need to go there. There's something about it that I love to shoot. And if you have children combined with that, especially at weddings, I try to capture that because a lot of the time our elderly are staying at home in their house, especially in the Netherlands, and they don't go out and about that much.
Okay.
But for a wedding, you have the whole family together and they get dressed up and it's a beautiful occasion. So I know that's like one day in a year that doesn't happen a lot. That's maybe why I'm so focused on grandparents because you know that they're getting older.
That's so
Um,
true.
and so when I see grandparents, I always try to like joke and make fun with them, and they like that. They like the energy, so they allow me to come really close. And this particularly granddad, it was indeed a granddad. He was a photographer.
Oh, really? As well? Wow.
So in the beginning, he was very skeptic, you know. And in the end, I showed him some examples on the back of the camera, and he was very enthusiastic. So I had a good bond with him.
Oh, that's
It
cool.
was in the middle of the reception that I could see the little kid and I could see him, but it was a spontaneous moment. So I just turned around and I saw at the moment I was at the right place. And a lot of the times I'm like very low to the floor.
Yeah, okay.
up, be on child's level, and I'm only one. Well, I'm very short, so you know, it doesn't matter for me. Yeah, and I just saw the moment.
Oh, it's a beautiful shot. This the way he's holding him and then and looking down at him, and it's just beautiful. I love it. If anyone's listening, while running or in the car, do come to the site. This is reportage.com, and I'll include the image in the post in this podcast image, and you can see it. Yeah, it's awesome. I love your black and white as well, and you do. I think you show a lot of black and whites, and actually all
Yeah,
all your reportage awards are black and whites. Actually, yeah, which is great. I love black and whites. Do
yeah.
you have a specific reason why you choose to edit certain images in black and white?
Yeah, I thought about that, of course, for a long time because I love black and white. Ever since I've started photography, I couldn't get my colors right. And at the beginning, I thought it was due to technique. But the more I get to know myself, and the more I get to understand myself and how I view the world and why I view the world, I came to understand that the black and white and the strong blacks and the deep blacks and the very white and the contrast, the drama in it, is because it's my personality. I've been as a child. I've been through some pain, or I saw some fear, and that made me quite harsh as a person. But I'm also somebody who's extremely sensitive,
Mm,
and have a very sensitive soul, and that kind of comes back in the way I see the world and take photos. So it's about deep black and very white.
oh, that's
And
cool.
yeah, and I didn't realize that I look at it that way. So it's representation of myself,
Mm,
actually, and that's what makes it even better.
that's
A lot
yeah,
of
that's
a lot of my clients also have experienced some drama in their life, either a loss of somebody or a tough childhood. So it also speaks to certain people, which is
right, sure.
great.
Oh, well, that's a beautiful way, I think, of yeah, of seeing it as well, looking at it. That's lovely. How did you? Because you said how you were very sensitive as a child, and were you into photography from an early age? How did you get into being a wedding photographer?
I started by accident. Now I realize that both my parents are very creative. I didn't really know that as a child. My dad was a graphic designer, and my mom was our school photographer.
Yeah, right.
And
Okay,
she's a
cool.
writer, so they're both kind of creative souls.
Yeah.
I had nothing with photography. It was when my oldest girl got born. I was walking in the forest in the early mornings. I'm never out and about in the really early mornings because I love to sleep in. But yeah, with babies, you have to do something. So I was
That's true.
walking in the forest. I live near the forest, which is amazing.
Oh,
And I
lovely.
suddenly saw the light coming between the trees, hitting the ground. And I just took my iPhone and I took a shot. Then I was hooked on photography, and every morning went before I had to go to my work, but because I wasn't a wedding photographer, I went like running on the fields to catch the sunset or
Oh,
the
wow.
sunrise, and I was just hooked on landscape photography
Oh,
with my iPhone.
okay.
And then I got to borrow a camera from my granddad. Well, my ex-husband granddad, and I was addicted. And I started
Oh,
portrait photography. And,
cool.
and I just shot portraits like editorial or fashion portraits, and I got some name in that in the Netherlands.
Okay, cool.
And then I thought, I really like this. Maybe I could earn some money with it.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah, because it was all just fun and whatever. So I asked my best friend, who's also a wedding photographer, if I could join her. And from day one, I was like totally in love with it. It was so, I think I started my first wedding end of December 2017.
Okay, not
So
not not long ago. Not long ago.
No, and in 2018, I offered myself like for nothing to everybody. I shot like millions of weddings, and I just was in love.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
and went quite fast and quite well, and
Yeah,
yeah.
You're doing great as well. So, and very not that long. I thought from the quality of your work, I thought you'd been shooting a lot longer than that. So that's really, really cool. What was it? Do you remember your first wedding? That was your own wedding and your first like proper wedding, as maybe.
Oh, yeah, I do. And it was so nerve-wracking. It was in Rotterdam in December.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. Okay.
and I had to teach myself to learn the flash just in case it was dark. And I'm not technical, I shoot manual from day one, but I'm not technical. So I was terrified. What if it's going to be too dark?
Oh, yeah. Was it
Oh, well,
okay?
it was okay because I'm a very lucky girl. Almost all my weddings, I think like 90% of them, I have sun.
Oh, that is lucky. That's very nice.
It is,
You should put that on your website,
because
90%
that's just
chance.
asking for it.
That's true. Yeah.
Just asking for. I was joking about it, but I often have good weather. And in December we had an amazing sun, so I have beautiful photos of them on the bridge outside of Rotterdam with the golden hour. And I used the flash, and it worked somehow, and they were very happy with it. And it was, yeah, I'm still also happy with those pictures.
Oh, that's cool. To be really happy from your first paid wedding as well is really, really good. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Well, my technique and everything changes a bit, but not the way I shoot it. To be
Right.
real, it's the same still.
Cool. Great stuff. And it's just gone on from there and it's awesome. Cool. Let's change tack slightly now. Let's go. So if you won the lottery, Kim, I don't know if you play the lottery. Do you have a lottery in Holland?
We have, but I don't think I play.
No, okay. But imagine if you did play and you won the lottery, what would you spend it on? I mean, would you still do wedding photography?
What would I spend? Well, it's a good one because I do not care about money at all.
That's cool. A good way to be.
I I always have money somehow because I'm good at saving.
Okay. That's been
And I'm
handy,
lucky.
especially with the pandemic to have
Yeah,
that, right?
so I'm lucky in money somehow. It's like in March I didn't have had a wedding, but the government still gave us
Okay.
money, so that was a problem.
Yeah, that helps. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't change anything. I don't think money would make me happy at all because I
Mm,
don't like the way it changes you.
mm, I totally
So
understand. Yeah,
yeah, no, I wouldn't do anything different. It would just be no, it would be too easy. If you have a lot of money, then you miss the drive, and I like having the drive to work and to provide for myself, and to earn
mm.
my own money.
That's so true, isn't it? It's a
Uh,
very different
I
kind of
would
life.
buy a house in like Italy or something. That I would,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, that would be easier. But that's it. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds nice. That sounds nice. And I totally agree with you about money being, not important. As long as you've got enough to kind of
yeah.
live, then yeah, bits above that doesn't really make you happier. It's very interesting though, the subject of happiness. That's why I often talk about it on here. What does it mean to be successful to you then? And I already know that money is not, a level of success for you. So what does it mean to be successful for you?
Oh, I think that's such a good question because success is so based on ego.
Mm,
It's what the eye wants to desire or whatever. And the last years, I realized that success is not about being known or um, being popular or whatever. For
mm,
me, success is being truly happy and finding inner peace. For me,
mm.
that's so much more important. So no, I don't think in life of success because if you are successful, then other people should fail, and I don't like that idea.
That's a great way of, I don't think I've heard that before, and that's so true, isn't it? Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
true.
I think it's so difficult to go through life, to get to know yourself and to stay true to yourself and to follow your heart, to know who you are and what you want, to be of service to others, and to always do the right thing. Well, that in itself is like a challenge. So
That's true.
success is so it doesn't add anything. If you have something to say or you're inspirational or a motivator, that will happen. If it happens, and if you try to achieve something and it's not from the heart, I think
I-
you just have to be you and try to live as true as possible, and then that's enough. It's more
mm.
enough.
I totally agree. I think that's brilliant. I really do. It's great advice. Have you,
Probably
because some,
difficult,
oh,
to really do that. It's not easy. I've experienced
yeah,
success doesn't matter at all. No, no, no.
I know that's a great way of looking at it. And have you found it, because I think being, as you say, being yourself, being you is so important. Have you found it easy to be yourself throughout life?
No, I think I've put on so many masks in my life, and in the beginning, I was living through anxiety or fear all of the time, all of the time. I was afraid of everything. I couldn't even dare to drive.
All
I was
right.
afraid of driving and had a lot of anxieties. And then I met my ex-husband, and I had a wonderful life, and it calmed me down a lot. And I wanted that to be successful so bad. I wanted to have the family that I never really experienced myself, until a certain point that you realize that you might not be totally yourself. You might not be the total fit, and it doesn't bring you the happiness that you want. And then you have to change yourself again, and that's hard, because facing fears is what's life about in my eyes, and that always causes pain. But in the long run, it's for the best of everybody, and I really believe that. So no, I will fail and fall like probably the rest of my life, but I do have the feeling that I'm finding more inner peace now than I did before. So even when everything is very difficult in my life at the moment, I still feel really good.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Man, that's so awesome to hear. I think you say that and speak about that so beautifully. I think that's
Oh,
awesome.
it's nice.
Um, let's change tack again then slightly now. As well as your weddings, and you mentioned it just earlier, actually, you also do family photography. Can you tell us about your approach to that? You know, how you
Yeah.
shoot families? Is it still a documentary kind of general way?
Yeah, no, it's been a reportage documentary from day one. And before I even know that documentary existed, I did family, maybe even before weddings.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I shoot them the same way that I shoot my little girls. I hate posing. I absolutely hate it. In my portraits at the beginning, I tried to capture something that had a feeling and that wasn't like posed. And so with families, we always went outside. I said, we're going to have an hour. We're going to walk in the forest. You leave your phones at home. You let your kids be kids. Please don't tell them what to do. And I will run around and capture them.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's still how I do it.
Oh, that's cool. And do you enjoy the family side?
Um, yeah, because I love kids. They're so unpredictable
Yeah.
and they're so full of emotions. And those moments are just, yeah, you know that it's for the years to come to look back at it. So it's a very, yeah, honorable way of giving something back, even if it's not a lot. But I do really like it, and I'm looking forward to shooting those more in the coming time.
Yeah, that's. I guess they will be easier to do rather than weddings for the foreseeable future as well.
Yeah, but it also takes more time. I prefer weddings because it's a big day. It has everything in it, and it's for, if we talk money wise, it's better. It's a bigger job. You know, it takes more time. It's all those families are nice, but they're short and yeah. it's sometimes difficult to plan in the week.
Yes, that's true. Especially the weather, if they're often outside as well, that could be
Yeah.
a thing, I
Yeah.
guess. Do you ever do the kind of day in the life sessions where you spend longer with the family?
I think if I look at myself, to do that, you have to have higher prices. And there are not a lot of families really willing to do that. They're okay with like a session, but those very long days, especially in my experience, the dads don't really enjoy having a camera around all day. Yeah, it's true. So
Yeah, I
I
can
don't.
appreciate that as a dad myself, I guess. I don't think I probably
Yeah,
would.
yeah, but a lot of the times, the people that are attracted to my photography are often people that hate posing
Right, yeah.
because everything is unposed. And what I do is I tell them you don't have to pose, but there are often people that don't like the camera.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, those short sessions are just more successful in terms of bookings, and so I try to stick with that. And newborns, I do a lot of newborns, and also in the same way.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. I've never done any newborn photography. Do you enjoy that? Is it really difficult though?
Oh, it's so different because you have to be aware of a little baby's soul.
Right.
I only do it from 6, 7 weeks old because then there's a little bit more aliveness in the little baby. They start to smile, they are more awake and more conscious. But the energy, you have to be you have to take a lot of time with little babies because even the shutter sound can have an impact on them.
All
So
right, yeah.
when I do it, I take like small shots and then I stop again and I talk with the parents on how it is. And then when I see a moment, I shoot a little bit, but everything has to go in the pace of the little baby. So if the baby is getting stressed for any reason, I stop. So they take long, but you do like a bath session or a cuddle session and you change a little bit. And it's really nice to do.
Yeah, it
And
sounds lovely actually.
if they smile, because every parent wants that, and at the end they always smile. So I have one of the little baby smiling, and everybody's happy.
Oh, yeah, that sounds it sounds lovely. Do you ever shoot families of the couples that you photographed, you know?
Um, it happens. You know, if you shoot the weddings, then you also shoot the new baby, and then you shoot like families. You get into a connection with those families, which is nice.
That is cool, isn't it? To be able to capture different elements of their life going forward like that, I think is really lovely.
And it's still rewarding when you come into into their home and you see the photos actually hang up on the wall. You're like, oh, I'm happy with it. They're finding joy out of it.
That's so
That's
true.
always, an honorable feeling or humble
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
I've only done that once. I've taken a photograph of one of my wedding couples, one of their baby, and yeah, they had some photos up from their wedding when I went into their house. But I wondered if only the day before I arrived, maybe they went out and got photos
No.
printed.
You're surprised at how happy people are with your photos. One of my best friends has I shoot her family sometimes, and she also recently got separated, so I shoot her and her two little girls. But she actually prints them and puts them all over her house. So when I'm there, I feel, yeah, that's so nice. It's so
That is so
appreciated.
lovely. Oh, that is cool to
Really
know, isn't it?
happy with it.
Yeah,
That's
that is cool. That is very
really
cool. And you, as a mother yourself to two kids, when we weren't in a pandemic, you know, how did you balance being a mom and being a busy photographer as well? I mean, how did you find that?
To be really honest, I just dropped my work. I dropped it.
Yeah.
Everything was postponed, and I knew that my number one priority was to try to be the best mother I could be in the circumstances, especially when her grandmother got corona and we didn't know if she would survive.
All right. Sorry. Is she okay?
It's okay, but in that week we also signed the divorce papers. So in those times, I was happy that I could leave my work for a little bit and fully be here for the girls.
Mm.
So I shut a lot of them. I shut them because I knew that it's going to change in a while. So I wanted those memories. So even when I had Corona, I was still shooting them, like
You
playing.
had it as well. You had it.
I didn't have it that heavy.
All
I
right.
had it for like a week. I had a fever for like a week, and I was extremely tired and could fall over and hit my head and all that stuff. But I wasn't that
Oh,
sick.
wow.
Yeah, no, I wasn't that sick at all. But yeah, it's shooting my girls. What is really special to do.
Yeah, it's so important to do as well. So I need to do that more. I don't pick up the camera enough at home with my kids. I need to do it more. I really
Only
do.
why you do it if you put it somewhere below. So if you're downstairs, you have to have your camera like present.
Mm,
If you have it boxed up in your gear above or whatever, then you won't. But leave it. Leave one downstairs, and you will do it. And you make like
yeah.
an album of it. That's it.
Oh, I need to do it. It's inspiring. Yeah, I totally get that. It's same. I had an electronic drum kit that we hid away in a different room, and now we've put it in the lounge. And now I'm playing it like every day. When it's there in front of you, you will use it, won't you?
What is the last time that you shoot your kids?
Or with the proper camera, the big camera, as I
Yeah.
call it.
Well,
Oh man, I maybe Christmas or so,
oh,
maybe.
oh. No, you're middle in Corona now, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
I
shoot.
know.
It's so different. Now they're back at school, and I have one picture of their dad sitting here behind the desk doing the homework. It's so cool to have.
Mm.
That
Oh, I
will
need to do
never.
it. Well, I'm going to do it, Kim. You've inspired me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Cool. Well, I expect to see it then, eh?
That is good. Hold me accountable. That is good. That is good. Which leads me on to a good point, actually, that you offer coaching to photographers, as you're like coaching me, which is great. Which is awesome. How long have you been doing that for? Do you enjoy it in teaching other photographers? I guess you must do.
Well, it's different. I'm not a great teacher per se.
I
I'm
bet
not
you
that,
are.
no, I'm not that technical. What I love to do is to sit with somebody and truly figure out who they are. I
Mm.
just want to know and help them to figure out who they are and how
That's
they
more
see the
important.
world.
That's
Yeah,
more important than the technical side.
yeah. What makes them them, and when you realize that why you shoot certain things, then that is going to be your style. That
Mm.
is going to make you unique. So to go away from copying or whatever and just to see, okay, who are you? And why do you shoot this? And what do you see? And what do you like? And I love doing that, but it's more like the psychology behind it and being there for people and
That's
trying
cool.
to coach them and motivate them to keep doing it.
That's great. I think that's a great way to look at mentoring or coaching, definitely. And I'm like you, I'm not a very technical photographer, so that element definitely appeals to me more. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't promote myself with the new. I am so in awe of people who know everything about flashes and everything. I think, oh, that's also for me, that's like truly inspiring. But I
Mm.
forget it. I don't do it all the time. And then I have to go back again and again.
Mm.
So I don't do that anymore. I just stick with what I know, and I try to learn as much as possible because that's important. But
Mm. Have you
yeah.
been on other workshops at all?
Yeah. I've been very happy with Rocio Viga.
Oh, cool. I interviewed her for the podcast. She's awesome. I bet her workshop was good, was it?
Yeah, if you want to really learn like also technical things, then she's the one. She will kick your ass. But yeah, in a good way, in a good way.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
she's just yeah, she's a lovely person. So that's why the workshops that I do or the mentoring, I choose people that inspire me. I
Cool.
think that's
Yeah.
more important than how good they are.
So true. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Have you been on any conferences?
Yeah. Yeah, I think for Fearless for 2 years. First one was in Croatia.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's yeah. You need to talk to colleagues and to either make friends, meet new people, get inspired, to learn and to share. That's so important. It's amazing.
It is, isn't it? I love doing that as well. It really is. Yeah, I still get nervous about like socializing with loads of people, but I do really enjoy it.
Are you the same when you're in a group? You just want to go away and sit alone?
Oh, totally feel that. Yeah, yeah. Do
I
you
do
feel
that.
like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I do that often. It's too overwhelming, and then just try to find one person and have like a meaningful conversation. Then I'm happy. I
Yeah,
do nothing else at
that,
all.
that is so true. A pint, a cider for me helps a little bit as well. Just, just.
Yeah, it doesn't help for me. I'm half English. If I drink, I get loud and obnoxious, so I don't drink.
I like the way you liken the loud and obnoxious bit to your half English side.
I'm like those people that go to Spain if I drink.
That's really funny. Oh, what did you grow up in England at all, or
No, my
or?
grandparents live there, so I
Oh,
did
cool.
go away sometimes and like really in a hideaway in a little cabin, like in the woods. So that's
Oh,
nice.
that's cool. Now, have you ever shot a wedding over here?
Oh no, I want to shoot a wedding in Scotland. That's my
Oh,
big dream, but with everything on it, the kilts and in the
yeah.
on top of a hill with a thunderstorm. That's still on
That
my
would
wish list.
that would
So
be cool.
anybody listening, if you want a second shooter and you're going to Scotland, please bring me. That would make me very happy.
Hopefully you'll get loads of requests now. Hopefully that's cool. I've only done a couple in Scotland, but I live in Cornwall in England, which is the very southwest. So I did a wedding in Dornoch. Was it 2 years ago now? And it's 1,000 mile round trip. So it took me a long time. Yeah, a long
And
time.
you went to the McDonald's, didn't you?
I did. I did.
I remember it, like seeing like an insane trip.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can
Do you like
remember.
McDonald's? Are you a McDonald's
Yeah,
fan?
that's really bad, but I do. Yeah,
Oh, good, good. What's your meal of choice? What do you like?
chicken McNuggets.
Ah,
With
nice. Good.
but with the Dutch, they have like with the mayonnaise.
Oh, okay, not ketchup.
No, no, no. And we only have the nice ones here in the Netherlands. But it's my comfort food.
Oh
With the
yeah,
Mac, it's
nice.
really bad because I try to eat healthy. But yeah, I love the McDonald's.
Yeah, can't resist the McDonald's, especially after a wedding on the drive home. It's just the best thing. So if you've just shot a wedding, what's the first thing you do when you get back home?
Uh, well, it depends. If it's late, I just go to bed
Mm.
because I'm just tired. And the next morning, I would back it up. On several locations, I have a external hard disk, and I've got them in the cloud. So I have 2 or 3 places that I have a backup because I
Okay,
had
yeah.
some issues in the past that I almost lost the wedding.
Oh, scary.
Yeah, you lose like a year of your life in that moment.
Oh
But
man,
anymore.
nightmare. Did that actually happen then, or did you say it was close
Yeah,
to
no,
happening?
no,
Or
no. Thank God we got it back. But I had an error on my card, which made an error on my external hard drive.
uh,
And in that same time, when we were backing up to the cloud, the backup didn't went, and I didn't know that.
oh, nightmare.
Yeah. So, but that doesn't like happen ever, but it happened. So yeah, I have 3 backups now. I shoot on 2 cards, and I have 3 backups because you do not want to lose a wedding.
No, so true. Very wise, very wise. But you managed to get the data back, did you, in the end then?
Thanks to my ex-husband, because he's a saint in that. He's amazing.
Oh,
He
cool.
managed my computer. He says, "I will still help you with your computer." God,
Oh,
yeah, very nice.
that is good. Um, And let's get back with the photography. You've won lots of awards, including 7 Reportage Awards and lots from other associations too.
Yeah.
What for you? Why do you personally enter awards?
I enter them because somehow I want to share my work.
Mm.
And some of the photos that when I shoot a photo, I don't want the people getting it to feel something. I want it to be universally felt. So if some photo makes you feel something, either makes you smile or touches something inside, it's like a universal feeling that I want to share. And then that awards is a great platform because one of my photos that got a certain award recently, that groom, I know he had cancer and he died.
Oh, man.
To be able to share that with lots of people makes his memory, he made a mark on the world. And also a lot of grandparents that I shoot and they die, I get a chance to share them somehow. And that's yeah. So I don't really know why I want that. It's like a small thing I can give back to people by having a platform.
I think that's so lovely. I think that's a really, really lovely way of looking at it. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
do. Awesome. What would be your top tips to help someone become better at the documentary side of what we do?
I know that a lot of people say that you also need to think when you shoot a wedding, and I do agree with that. Considering your backgrounds, the lighting, the composition, it's very important to make better pictures. So learn that. I really do all the things that you're not good at, learn them, and then let it go. And then when you are at a wedding, just use your intuition, your feelings, follow your heart and your soul, and capture those moments because you can feel them. So forget about everything. Just get behind your camera and just follow the emotions and the energy that are all around you. Come close. Yeah, well, after Corona or whatever, just come close. The more you feel it, the closer you have to come. Just be there and
Oh, that's
just
awesome.
follow it.
That's great. I totally agree with that as well. I think that's beautiful. Can you tell us something that you're truly, truly awful at?
Using the flash. I know how it works, but I'm very short and only be having to hang them up. It's too much. I have to carry it around. I have my on-camera flash, and I know it's not nice. It's not the best light, and I should really maybe learn more. But I always go away after the openings dance, and in the morning I try to position them in the window light.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I suck.
That's funny. But you don't need to be great at that side as well. I mean, no, I'm not great at the flash side, and some people don't use any flash at all. So
And I have an amazing second shooter who does know how to do it.
oh, that's handy there.
I don't know if I can name her because she's amazing. She also
That's up
won
to
the
you.
Oh, it's Marley Egelaar.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, she's a
She's
member.
so sweet. And
Oh,
she
that.
helps me with that. And she looks at me and is like, do I need to do it again? I'm like, oh, yeah, please.
So, do you often shoot together? Do you?
Yeah. I always shot alone, and you get more into the zone when you shoot alone. You're allowed more into the group. But because I had a lot of anxiety in the past for being sick or not being there on time or the flash or whatever, I decided to ask for a second shooter. And I found Marley, and she's perfect also. And I also shoot with Nina, she's great too. But most of the time with Marley, and it helps. I can really go back to concentrating and sitting in the moment, and I don't have to run around backwards and forwards, which I normally did because I want
That's
to
cool.
capture it all, which you don't, but I thought I did.
Oh, I get that feeling that you have to be like a headless chicken running around and capturing everything.
You
But
don't have to do that,
mm,
but I want to have everybody on the photo for in case my couple asks me, do you have photos of them?
mm.
That's yeah, that's why I thought, well, I have to shoot everything, which you don't. But
No, it's true. Other than photography, what are you really passionate about? What are your loves?
of course, my girls, but
Yeah.
every mama said that. I'm passionate about riding. I like to ride. Nothing particular. I just love riding.
Horses or
Oh, no,
bikes?
not riding, but writing.
Oh,
Sorry, not
writing. Sorry, no, sorry.
just writing. I
Oh,
like
cool.
reading and writing.
What kind of stuff do you write?
For now, it's more the blogs or something like that on my website.
Okay, yeah.
But nothing. I need to. I want to write a book one day. But it's like what everybody says. I want to do this. I want to do that. But that's something that I would love to do one day.
Mm.
I like being outside in nature, and
Yeah.
I
You,
like to
you say
travel.
you live near woods, is that right? Near a forest?
1 minute walks, and I'm in the middle of the forest. So
Wow, that is amazing.
I often put music on and try to go running, but it's more meditation than running. It's more being outside with music on.
If you were to write a book, do you have like an idea for a story, or would it be like an autobiography, or would it be non-fiction, or what would you do?
I think it would be a romance. How do you say it?
Romance, is it? Or
Yeah, a
no, or
love.
Roman, or what? Historical, like.
No, Alan, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. It's not going to be an autobiography, but maybe something more based on the truth, like a fiction, but based on truth.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that sounds good. That's good. You should do it. You should do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was thinking you were going to say that. So you shoot your family and you write a book. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
What? Yeah, I'll send you some photos of my kids.
Uh-huh, yeah. I sent you the first chapter. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh my God. Oh.
Kim, what would be? Do you have any tips for people who are just starting out in the industry? Because people who listen to this podcast are a
Yeah.
whole range of experience. Some have been shooting for years, but some are just starting out. Do you have any tips for those people who are just beginning?
I think if you have the chance to shoot as a second shooter for somebody, that will be the best tip I could give you.
Right. Okay.
You have a lot of time to practice, and you don't have the pressure yet. Yeah, and in
Mm,
the beginning, you have to give yourself away. I've done my first weddings maybe for free,
mm.
but it took me to Spain and it took me to France, so that was okay.
Oh, that is okay.
Yeah, but now I wouldn't do it. But back then, of course, I shoot like crazy. Uh, so start somewhere, but don't wait too long. Taking
Mm.
yourself serious and asking money for it, and that's very difficult to up your prices. I had to double my prices in a year. It
Wow, and you
was
just
so hard. I thought nobody's gonna hire me, but they still did. So that was good.
that is
Don't be
good.
afraid to do that.
Yeah, because it can be really scary to up your prices, can't it?
Yeah, especially if you decide I had to do it because otherwise I nobody would take me seriously and I won't take myself serious. So I had to like double my prices. Yeah,
Right, okay.
decision. But I should really do that. If you have enough weddings and you have room, up your prices.
Totally. Yeah, totally agree with that. And yeah, and give yourself enough time to experiment with those new prices as well. Because some people put their prices up, but then get scared because they don't book a
It's
wedding
yes,
within a week, but you need to give a good amount of time.
give it a time, and I would also recommend do a lot of writing a blog. Get yourself out there and be honest. Just be you. Don't write something you think somebody wants to read because it's a popular search engine optimizing word or whatever. Write who you are. Write
Mm,
from your heart. Yeah. Just try to make it as real as possible.
great
You
advice.
don't
Great
have to
advice.
change that later on. If you have to change yourself later on, then you're in trouble.
That's true. Yeah. True. Great advice again, and comes back to what you said at the beginning about the importance of just being you. And I totally believe in that as well in life. It's so important to just be you in everything that you do, and that includes running a business and writing a blog and how you talk to people on the day and everything, really.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
At a wedding, have you ever made any kind of really memorable mistakes at all?
I made a lot of almost mistakes. I almost bumped into into a museum, into like a painting.
Oh, really? Whoa.
Like, oh, I almost ruined like a century-old painting. I almost walked behind into a cake. You know, all of those things. I shot the opening dance. I had 3 photos, and then my flash got overheated because I didn't know how to use it. Thank God I
Oh.
had 3 good pictures, but that never happened again.
You do. We learn from them, don't we? We do, but it's
Yeah,
scary.
yeah, it is awful, and I don't know.
Those are all good. That's good. I love hearing those kind of stories. I do. I
I
love it.
I left my camera at the dance floor and I had to go back, like when I was already back home.
Oh no.
Things.
Was it
I
far
was
away?
clumsy. No, thank God it was one that it was close, but you know, I'm very clumsy, so I need to really think before I go about if I have everything and don't forget everything and don't. Oh, I almost let the rings fall in the water, which is I don't do ring shots anymore after that.
After
I
that, yeah. Wow. Oh no. What happened there then? I get you were photographing them by
Yeah,
water.
on a flounder above the water, and I dropped one, and
Oh,
thank God it didn't fall between the woods into the water. Oh,
oh,
sorry, lots of things, you know, it's terrible.
that is
Very,
scary.
very, and I always have to go to the toilet when you enter in the morning, stuff like that. Do that before.
Yeah, I get that. It's funny you saying about the ring as well. Just when I proposed to my wife and she said yes, we were at a hotel, and the next morning she was like, um, out the window. She was like fling get there's a towel. She was clean like drying, and as she was flinging that, her ring fell off at a first floor window and just flew down onto the floor. So it took us about an hour to find it, but we did find it. But that was fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Right. Oh, Kim, cool. I think we've got time just for one more question. Thank you so much for this. It's been awesome talking to you. And I know this last one may be a super hard question, just to give you advance warning.
Okay, just
Um,
delete this one.
but can you think of a certain photo that you took that's had some kind of lasting impact? Perhaps that impact has been on your career or your confidence or your direction, or just an image that's just particularly memorable to you for some reason. It could be a personal image or a wedding image.
There's one photo that I took that I won't place on my website because he looks directly into the camera.
Right.
But there was there was a young couple which I mentioned, and he had cancer, and they had like a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old,
Oh man.
and they knew that he was going to lose the fight. And I heard them with my parents-in-law saying that they were going to take their own photos with cell phones. And I wasn't really feeling well, but I said, you know, no, we're not going to do that. So I offered them if I could help them, just give them hours for free so I could shoot. And they were very happy with that. And it was an amazing wedding, just the way it should be, you know, just love and being together and family. Um, and this was the first time that I shot a wedding that I thought that I actually like knew why I was doing what I was doing.
Right.
And at the end of the evening, totally at the end, he looked at me and he put his thumbs up. And we looked at each other for like a couple of seconds, and I took the photo, and he was like, "It's okay." And I knew when I took that photo that that was going to be the photo that they were going to use when he died.
Yeah.
So I polished that photo extra well. made it a beautiful portrait because you could see how sick he was with his bags underneath his eyes. So I tried to make it as beautiful as possible. And then, a couple of months later, I got the cards that he died, and it was that picture. So for me, that was the moment I know that what I do, it's not a lot what we do, but it has impact. So for me, that's my favorite one. Remind why we do what we do.
That's a powerful story. Oh man, yeah, emotional just hearing you talk about that. That's
but it's what we do, and we forget it sometimes with all the things around it. But it's really nice that we can do this, I think.
That's so true. Yeah, that is so true. Oh, Kim, thank you so much for your time in talking to me. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and now you pick up the camera and shoot the crap out of your family.
Yes, and you pick up the pen and write a novel.
Yeah, about what?
I don't know.
I don't know either. When I know that, I will start writing, okay?
Yes, deal. And I'm going to take photos of my kids. But Kim, thank you so much. That was brilliant. I just loved it. Your honesty and how open you were, and it's just really interesting. Thank you.
Well, it's nice to talk to you. You're a very nice guy.
Oh, thank you. That's nice.
You are.
Oh, and you're lovely, and lovely talking to you. And I know people are going to really enjoy listening. And if you're listening, as I say, if you're in the car or anything, head to the site, thisisreportage.com, and I'll show lots of examples of Kim's work and links to your website. And you wrote a This Is How piece for us, I think, a while ago as well, which was super, about that image where I think it's like the bride and the child and maybe like hugging from behind type thing.
Yeah, that's the next one. Yeah.
And that was a really interesting read as well, so I'll include a link to that. And yeah, just thanks so much, Kim. That was awesome.
And if there's something I can do, just let me know.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, you stay safe, and hopefully I'll get to meet you in real life one day.
Yeah, let's do that. That would be fun. Okay, cool.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the 34th episode of the This Is Reportage podcast. Kim was just so lovely to talk to. Hope you enjoyed listening. Head to thisisreportage.com to see examples of Kim's work, link to her website, and the This Is How piece she wrote for us. We also have lots more episodes of the podcast already released, with photographers such as Rocio Vega, Ross Harvey, Leonard Wolpott, Denise Motz, Elena Haralabaki, Tyler Workin, and many more. And if you're not yet a member of TIR, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 Reportage Award and 18 Story Award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, exclusive discounts, and the recent huge addition to membership, exclusive educational videos. There's already almost 16 hours worth of videos to watch, where some of the world's best photographers share their tips, thoughts, and experience to make you a better photographer. New videos will also be added regularly. Collection 16 of our awards is currently open to submissions too. Deadline is 23:59 BST on 24th of July 2020. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.